Gentlemen, welcome to the Kirbside Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Kirby. Unfortunately, this time I'm not joined by my lovely co-host, Britt. She wasn't able to make it for this session. But uh, to continue with our tag team month, we've got to stretch it out a little bit because we've had some production issues. But going with the spirit of tag team month, we have one of the tag teams from Jersey that I know very personally and very well, uh, Nate and Dave, the Rep.
Oh,
What is up, fellas? Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it.
thank you for having us. Thank you. We love
Yeah,
doing interviews.
yeah. I wanted I wanted to get some tag teams that I really watch a lot on the indies and follow. And I was like, I gotta see if I can get the rep on here. And I was very glad that you guys agreed.
Oh man, thank you for having us, man. Always nice to be thought about, especially in a positive light. So
Mhm. Oh yeah,
appreciate it.
of course. Um, Before we get started, I don't want to forget. Uh, for everyone watching, click the subscribe button, hit the little bell in the YouTube app so you don't miss the notifications. Also, in the description for the video, I'm going to send a link for UWC's Toys for Tots charity drive. Donate whatever you can. It's a really good cause. Every little bit helps. So go ahead and check out that link if you can. So, fellas, uh, it's been a minute since we've all talked, but it's great to have you guys on. I haven't seen you guys since FOW when I got to call y'all's six-man match.
Oh gosh, that was a while ago.
It's been a minute. I was in a wheelchair the last time we actually got to have a conversation. Um, but thank you guys for coming on. I just wanted to like, I guess, just sit down with you guys and talk the rep. I want to talk like where you guys got your start, where you guys for the people who don't know, uh what gave you guys the idea to be a team? Uh
um, I mean, like the story's kind of out there, so it's like I'll glance over it, kind of, but not
okay.
sugarcoat it. But yeah, me and Dave, we've been friends for before wrestling, so we kind of started together,
Hmm.
and it just sort of worked out. Tag team's the way to go.
Right,
We
right.
both love tag team wrestling. We both, tag team wrestling is it for us. So when we decided, to hop in this wrestling business, tag team seemed like the way to go about it. So that's just, that's our style of wrestling.
I dig it. um so with tag team wrestling, who have been some of your guys like big inspirations? Like who does the rep watch when they're trying to study tag wrestling?
Uh, it's almost like who not, but it's like, dude, it's like Doom, like number one, like one of our favorites. Harlem Heat, obviously Hardy's, Dudley's, Edge and Christian,
Right.
great stuff. But I mean, like even older things like Arn and Tully, like always good stuff. Is it's hard to pick one team because it's like it's always something different.
Right.
Steal from one team, it's plagiarizing. You steal from a bunch of different teams. You're doing research, so it's kind of hard to
there,
pick just one person
there you
or
go.
one team.
I say in the past 5 years, the most, I mean, at least concept wise, that I would
Mhm.
say that I've seen and learned a lot from just by watching would probably be Phil LaFons and Doug Furness.
Hmm.
Yeah,
A lot of their stuff in Japan was really that's so much an inspiration, but I mean you could watch just one of your matches and just have an idea for like six different ways to go about doing one thing just from one match.
Right.
And that was probably a huge influence because tag team pacing is different. Singles pacing is,
Definitely.
I don't know, from my perspective it's easier to feel. Tag team wrestling it is not, because it's not just me, you, and a ref. It's us, it's the ref, it's another team. If there's a manager there, it's a lot going on. So sometimes it could be a little bit harder to feel that pacing on when to
Hmm.
do something. So I would definitely say Phil LaFons and Doug Furness. They're all Japan stuff.
Nice. Very nice. Love some good Japanese wrestling. And ironically, me and my brother, we've been rewatching old. We basically started from Starcade '84 and have just watched everything from WCW for the past few months. So
jeez.
Nice.
So we've gotten to rewatch and appreciate Doom. We're right in the thick of Harlem Heat, especially right after their first rivalry with the Nasty Boys. So
That was
definitely
fun. That was a fun one.
That was some good stuff right there. Man.
definitely getting reintroduced to Harlem Heat because I was a little younger at the time, so I didn't appreciate it as much. I've always been a Booker T fan, but like I didn't understand tag team wrestling when I was watching Nitro. I was just like, oh, tag team. But rewatching them now is fantastic. They've in '95 they've saved so many pay-per-views for me and my brother. We're like, can we turn this? Okay, Harlem Heat. Thank God.
Yeah. There was some rough years there.
Yeah. But no, that's fantastic. Interesting enough. With you guys, I'd met you both individually at CZW, but I'd never seen you guys work before. And it was I want to say it was the last TOD. And when your guys' entrance music hit, and I was like, wait a minute, is that Long Live the Chief? And you guys came out and I was like, oh my God, it is. Because I had watched if you couldn't tell, I'm kind of a huge comic nut.
Yeah.
I had watched Luke Cage and I was like, that's it. That's gotta be it. And then you guys came out as a team. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know. And then you guys went out there and killed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Good thing we didn't die that day.
Oh my goodness.
How about that?
There were some crazy spots. I was in the back clinching up. I was like, oh. So with that, who have been some of your guys' favorite people to work? Because I know you guys have worked a lot of teams around, especially the tri-state area, New York, Philly, Jersey.
I mean, like, if we're gonna start there, like, man, Travis, God rest his soul, on like Ken Broadway, like, always guys we love, facing. It's nothing like going in the ring with a team and it's like, I'm gonna knock the living hell out of this person and they're probably gonna try to hit me harder than that. So it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna hurt, but it's gonna be a fun day. So cats like that is great. Bear Country, obviously another team, like, you just go in there and beat the crap out of, but then like somebody else is like the Ugly Ducklings. So it's like, Rob Killjoy, Lance is like, Coach Mikey. Some guys, like, people who know about them know, and people who don't know, y'all need to do your research because, like, love wrestling those guys.
Ugly Ducklings are fantastic.
Davey, you wanted to chime in here? Or?
I mean, you named like seven teams, though.
I said 3 teams. I said 3 teams, not 7-3. We have faced more than 3 teams.
I would say anybody from New York. I mean, whether it was Daniel Garcia and Kevin Blackwood, whether it was LAX, whether it was Private Party, Milk Chocolate, it just sort of seems like at some point in time, if it was a New York team, chances are it was going to be a good one. And 9 times out of 10, it was. Everybody from House of Glory, definitely fun to wrestle. Everybody from House of Glory. There wasn't somebody from there that we didn't have a good time in the ring with. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I know still waiting on the main event. So, some match we're looking forward to. One of these days.
No, but I've watched a couple of your guys' matches with Bear Country. I've watched I don't think I've caught any of y'all's with Private Party, but I definitely need to look at that.
Oh man, you can actually find that what was
ladder
that
match?
Well, what's the show called?
Chris Cash Memorial Ladder Match, Down with the Sickness.
Yes, Down with the Sickness. You can watch that for free on YouTube. It's us versus Private Party in that one, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Y'all in a ladder match? That must have been insane.
He almost killed someone in the front row. It was great.
Oh my gosh. Did you throw them into the front row and that's what happened? Or did like
I can't ruin it for you. You gotta watch it. but
That's
you don't
fair.
have to wait
That's
long.
fair.
I will say one thing. I will say one thing. During that match, you will see the prettiest and vicious code red I have ever seen.
Nice. I love it.
That was my hard work and my genius right there.
Yeah, anyway, watch the match. Yeah, we'll talk about hard work and genius afterwards because I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone who's watching this who haven't seen it, or I'm not going to spoil anything.
No, but I'm definitely excited watching. Now House of Glory has a phenomenal tag team division. So
Yes, they definitely do.
and I've seen you guys work a couple of my friends that stand alone, and those have also been some really good matches. I saw you guys work the, oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart and I'm so sorry because I love both of them. The Atlantic City Scoundrels, there we go.
There you go.
And
That's
the tables match.
That was
Oh my goodness.
that was funny. But everything about that was fun for me.
Yeah, you guys, I thought someone was definitely going to die in that match, but you guys killed it.
I think that was on my anniversary, right? Yeah, because we ended up running out and all right, honey, I'm done wrestling. Let's go celebrate. Thanks, dear.
So I wanted to ask because, I've asked about the inspiration, where you guys started. Where did you guys come up with the gimmick, the rep? Because I know y'all had a gimmick beforehand. I don't exactly remember what it was.
Good.
Because I've heard Nate say, it didn't fit you guys. It was something, not exactly in your element. So where did the rep come from? Where did this idea of your guys' team?
I mean, put it the best way possible. It's like you always hear people saying, oh, you're wrestling, you're wrestling. Who you are is yourself turned up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I think it goes a little bit deeper than that, where it's like, it's not just yourself turned up to 11. It's a part of you turned up to 11. And the rep is a part of myself and Dave who, we bust our ass as far as this wrestling goes, behind the scenes, things of that nature, doing bigger shows, smaller shows, showing up, doing all of the things that, you hear everyone say they're doing. Like, we've been doing that for so long and never getting the right opportunity, never getting a shot, never getting, the respect that you deserve,
Mm-hmm.
or, that we felt. And it's like, after a while, it just starts to bubble over. And it's like, what, to hell with doing what everybody else wants to do. We're going to do what we want to do. But it's all about our rep, it's all about our reputation. It's all about who we are, what we deserve, what we're owed. And one thing leads to another. And it's just like, what, let's quit being, whatever somebody else wants us to be and be who we are. And there's the rep.
Nice. I can definitely respect that. I floundered with, I have this idea for gimmick, or this company wanted me to do this, and it took me a long time for me to find that right middle ground of myself turned up to 10 and 11, and then I came up with another gimmick that draws from my more comic book centric pop culture references, and that was me just cranked all the way up, like shot out of a cannon. So I can definitely respect you guys, just being you in the ring, and that means a lot. So when you guys got into wrestling, where, I guess, what's the right way to put this? What was the thing that attracted you guys to wrestling? What made you want to get in the ring, that bad? Was it growing up watching it? Was it like the showmanship of it? Was it just watching two teams go out there and kick the crap out of each other?
That last one for sure.
Yeah.
I think it was a series of things, but the major one was just just always been a fan of the business in general. I mean, growing up watching it will always be a part of it,
Yeah.
but you just begin to enjoy something so much where you just have to do it for yourself.
Yeah, it gets to a point where it's like you're always thinking about it. You're always thinking about it. You're thinking like, oh well, everybody doing it. It's like, well, why can't I do it? Like, I mean, Dave can fight. I like getting in fights. It's like, why the hell can't we do it?
Right.
So,
Oh, that's good.
just go ahead.
So coming back to the gimmick thing, I know that you and I had a conversation long time ago, Nate, about where like what a gimmick needs. I remember, I want to say it was Boom. You pulled him aside and had a conversation because he had some kind of gimmick that he was trying to run, and you just kept asking him why, and the longer it went, like he didn't have the answer for that character, and then you broke down like uh as far as the gimmick, you have to have a reason why you're going to do this, why your character acts like this, why your gimmick is like this, why you're in the ring in general, like. And that, I want to say, that conversation really resonated with me, especially because I watch and I try to grab from all kinds of crazy gimmicks and crazy characters, and coming up with a reason why my gimmick is this way and why the character is this way. I remembered that particular conversation really well, since we just talked about, you guys being the rep, you guys representing yourself, your reputation out in the world. Trying to think, what was it? Oh, I almost forgot. You guys have a third man in the
Yeah.
rep.
Yeah, Chris Bishop.
The missing ingredient.
Yeah.
So how did he start with you guys, or was it you guys were a team already, and then you're like, we got to bring this guy with us?
I mean, like, we started, like, me and Dave, and we
Mhm.
met Bishop, how do you say, like, down the road. We met him here and there. And then he started training, with us. And what is it? My car, I didn't have a car. Dave didn't have a car at the time. But the rep thing started to, people started wanting to use us. And further out in, like, New York and everything like that. And I was like, all right, well, do we rent a car? Do we, like, like, we got to make these dates.
Mhm.
And at the time, like, he wasn't even Chris Bishop yet. But he's like, look, like, I'm tired of, not getting a shot. I want to, let me just get in the car with, like, I'll drive,
Mhm.
I just want to see what's out there. And, you hear that you hear that all the time. Like, they tell you, like, get in the car, go places, see things.
Mhm.
Well, he was doing that. And then we just start hanging out more and more and more. Like, we were already cool before, but
Mhm.
you just start spending more and more and more time together. And, one thing leads to another. It's like, might as well be part of this. Like, so it was a natural fit that just sort of, formed.
Nice. So I guess with that, what's some of the more entertaining road stories you guys have from traveling, going up and down?
Oh gosh. I'm trying to think. Look at me.
Where you also won't have to plead the fifth beforehand.
I'd rather not plead the fifth on anything. I mean, like, I really like to tell, like, clean road stories, but it's also like, I get put me on the spot. It's like, all right, let me think of something funny that we've actually done. Dave, you got
I
anything?
mean, it can be funny. It can be, this was the greatest road trip ever because we went here. No.
Oh, I mean, like, one of the best ones, like, we just
Yeah.
did Beyond in January, and that was our first time going up there as the rep, which was great. And also because we're coming from Philly, and it was right across the street from Gillette Stadium, so we got to flip that off. So that was pretty fun. I enjoyed that very much. And then we just hop right back in, like, we get done our match, and it's like, all right, cool. And then we go from Rhode Island down to Long Island, New York, and go wrestle at NYWC the same day. And then have to drive all the way back home to Philly. So,
So you had a nice full day ahead of you.
fun day of wrestling. Fun day of wrestling,
I love it.
all the good stuff people are talking about. Again, like, not funny, but just lovely stuff that happens.
Yeah.
Also,
I was gonna say, who'd you guys end up working at Beyond?
Bear Country.
Nice.
You know, they
Love
got to pick their opponents and they picked us. We tried to kill them.
it.
I mean, you know, well, how could we not? What would you expect? Um, I'm really drawing a blank here, and I really feel like I'm letting this. I'm letting us down with the road stories. I'm trying to think like anything good that's freaking happened. Uh, what about that time we wrestled on the plantation? That was pretty
You
awkward.
wrestled. I bet. Where was this?
Ah, this was somewhere in Jersey. I mean, they called it a vineyard, but it had all the makings of a plantation. And us being a car full of black people, like some of the only black people on the show, it just was all right. This is a little awkward,
Right.
a little concerning, out in the woods. You know,
Right.
or what is it? Our first time driving down to TOD was lovely because this is
I
how
feel
long.
like I feel like the first time we went down to TOD, we were still using MapQuest.
Yeah,
So we somehow made a wrong turn and we saw tumbleweeds. We
this
got back on the expressway or whatever it was, and then we conveniently enough happened to see somebody in a pickup truck that had a CZW license plate on it. And I was like, yo, I'm about 90% sure we're going to the same location. If we follow this pickup truck, I guarantee you we get there. And we were absolutely right because we followed them all the way out. And we
yes.
so,
That's
We were
amazing.
somewhere in God knows where, Delaware. There were tumbleweeds. There was a Walmart with one letter hanging up. It looked like something out of Fallout, dude. Like we were like, this is not where we are supposed to be at all.
Oh my goodness.
This was very depressing. It was also like 10 years ago, but still, this was very fucking good. Oh my gosh.
No, it's funny. I've seen a difference in where people wrestle. Um, like unfortunately, I know that you guys are super over in Philly, and that's amazing. But I know companies in North Carolina, Virginia, where you would not be as popular.
Hey.
And then I know people who have gimmicks that do like the country gimmick, and they're super over down south, and then they come up to New York and get booed out the building.
Wrestling is weird. Is like I would say, like you know, it like you got to take into what you just said, but also it's like Dave and I wrestled in Tennessee, and we thought we might have gotten booed out of the ring. Sure enough, crowd full of white people. They loved us. So hey, you never know. Like you know, if you know what you're doing, and I'm not saying like you know we know everything, but it's like if you confident in yourself and you know what you're, you know, you be you. It's just like you know someone tells you in real life, like be you, and like if you like me, great. If you don't, great. But people recognize realness. People know when you're trying to play a role. People know when you're being fake. And I think that's a lot of times when people end up getting booed out of places, whatever. But most of the time, people are like, yeah, you know, I love this person. It's like they're just being who they are. Whether that's crazy as hell or whether it's serious as hell, it's just you know being you.
Right. You know, like you said, being you. I've seen gimmicks try to get off the ground of, you know, guys that are 5'9", 190 pounds trying to be, you know, Billy Badass and not getting over because that's not who they are. Or if he ever and ends up watching this interview, you know, we've talked about MJF in the past, you know,
Oh,
guy could come off as a dick sometimes, and then look what he does on TV, and it works. And he's only probably one of the more popular heels in the business right now because he just kind of embraces it. So,
and if you met him in real life, you know,
I met him the one time. We didn't have too much of an interaction, but I didn't have an issue with him, but I've heard more than one story.
I don't have an issue with him. I just say I see where people could have an issue.
Right.
I don't know what the fuss is about, and I don't know what the problem is. He's a heel. He acts like a heel. He's a good heel. Because of him, we did a show one time, and it was during the intermission, and he
Mhm,
was walking outside trying to sell his merchandise to the fans at the ring. One
mhm,
of the fans walked up to him and he was trying to convince him to buy a picture. And then
mhm.
he was going to buy the picture. And then I was like, man, that's crazy. You going to support him, but not us? Instead of walking away, MJF did something where he said something so smart and so sly that the guy ended up buying his picture, buying our picture, but then ripping his picture up.
That's fantastic.
Uh, he
We all
when
made
a
money.
person's a good heel, and we right, we both made money. When a
Money
person's a
is
good heel,
important.
it's very easy to be the good guy when someone's that good. It is
Oh
what it
yeah,
is.
yeah. I've learned recently because uh, those of you know, I got hurt back in December, February timeframe, and I finally got back in the ring, and it was right after a heel turn, and man, I had probably the most fun ever because I don't get to be a heel often. I'm always the chipper baby face, and it was so easy. It was so easy for the crowd to just despise the fact that I was breathing.
Hell.
I got called an asshole. I got called spineless, um, a coward because I jumped my ex tag partner. Like it was different being
Dave,
the
don't get any
heel.
ideas. I don't want you
I,
running this now.
I did say ex tag partner. Y'all are super successful in this team. Which actually I meant to ask that. You guys have worked so frequently as a team. You guys worked singles for other companies? Because I've seen, once or twice, maybe like Dojo Wars, Nate'll do a one-off or, a battle royal where it's just Dave. But do you guys normally work singles matches?
I,
Here and not too often, but here and
yeah,
there, like whenever
yeah.
it's called for. Like there was a tag team in New York that we had a feud with, and we all paired off individually.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like we'll do it sometimes, but like overall, like tag team wrestling is what we enjoy doing. And it's like it's a different type of wrestling.
Oh yeah.
It's a different type of match. It's a different type of everything, and that's what we really enjoy. Like keep the singles wrestlers, keep the single match for the singles wrestlers. They can have all
Right.
of that. I ain't worried about that too much.
I get you. I get you. No, I had a conversation with someone about just tag wrestlers because the biggest argument, especially with some big companies, is like as soon as a tag team starts getting momentum, they're like, all right, we'll break them up, and that guy's the new top guy. And that never made any sense to me. Like, why not just keep them as a team and just let him do his singles thing? Because it would be so much easier for you to keep doing what they're already doing that's successful.
Because nobody
And
says no.
New Day proved that it can work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
nobody says no, and I think that's the problem as far as that goes. And like, I
Mhm.
can't speak. Different companies have different rules and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like, especially on the independents, it's like it
Mhm.
makes no sense on the independents unless you actually want to do it. But if you want to be a tag team on independents and you don't want to break up,
Mhm.
don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like nobody can make you. Worst thing they can do is say, "All right, well, I don't want to book you." Then you go, "Okay, well, then we'll work as a tag team somewhere else." But if you get over, they'll book you again. So,
Right.
yeah.
I get you. I get you with that. Um, I did have a question. Oh, so with you guys working so many places, do you guys have any like big aspirations for a team? Do you have any dream opponents or dream promotions you'd love to get your foot in the door at?
Many.
I mean, promotion wise, I'm willing to work anywhere.
Yeah,
Um, but in terms of dream match wise, the only people I could think off the top of my head would just be the Briscoes.
yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Love to work the Briscoes, but if I gotta, if I gotta think of somebody different,
Hmm.
uh, I think the Besties. The Besties, Besties. Well, I think the Besties might be somebody that'd be fun to have a match with.
That'd be very
You
interesting.
know.
The Workhorsemen.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Anthony Hendry and James Drake. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be a good hard hitting match right there. Or Dominic Garrini and Kevin Koo. What's the tag name?
Violence was forever.
Violence was forever. Thank you. I couldn't remember the tag name, but like, yeah, like definitely, like it's a bunch of cats. Like it's a weird time where it's like there are a lot of tag teams out there. But the problem is like we're all spaced out, and it's like we got to get to each other.
Right. And
someone has to pay for it.
Yeah, somebody's got to pay for it. I'll go, but you got to pay me.
Yeah, exactly. I told a promoter that back in September, October. I was like, I'm not working for free anymore. And I never got called back. I was like, all right, well, you're lost. Good luck.
It is what it is. I think it happens to all of us.
Right. No, I've definitely noticed, especially literally within the last week. There's been a lot of highlighting tag team wrestling. I mean, PWI even just did their first ever top 50 tag teams. I haven't seen the list yet, but I do know. I want to say the only team that I know off the top of my hand that isn't like the top 10 is Pretty Proper, because it was literally announced literally the day I posted their episode. They announced it. I was like, wow, that's fantastic. But I've noticed, especially with AEW, no surprise, only being owned by two of the best tag team wrestlers out there right now. Them giving tag teams such a big spotlight and making it seem more important than just let's put these two guys together. They're actually showing, guys like FTR. They just had Top Flight on AEW, like kicking the show off. They've gotten John Silver from and his tag partner, whose name escapes me, and I feel so bad.
Alex Reynolds.
Thank you. John Silver and Alex Reynolds. They brought them in, and they're really finally putting a light on tag team wrestling, where a lot of promotions have kind of let the ball slip.
Yeah.
Kind of let it slip through their fingers. So I think that's really good, especially for guys like you two, to really jump to that next level and be like, hey, tag team wrestling is a thing now. It's not just an afterthought.
Yeah, I mean, like that's definitely like if opportunity came up, like yeah, we definitely jump at the chance to go work. Yeah, why wouldn't we? Like AEW Dark, they they got an open spot for us. By all means, call you boys up. We're glad to go.
Right.
But yeah, like especially with tag team wrestling, it's a lot better. Having an actual tag team and two wrestlers you threw together and like, all right, y'all are going to be the team and go ahead. Like it's a different feel and it's going to be a different match. And like I think people and the fans can feel it. So yes, it's dope having like the opportunities and the spotlights and all that. Like it's only going to make it better.
Trying to think what I was going to say next about that. So we already talked about your guys' favorite partners or favorite opponents, favorite places. What are some of the tag matches that have been some of your least favorite? Like, not to put anyone on spot, but like a couple times where you're just like, oh, what have I done?
I'm trying to think. I got one. It's not necessarily my least favorite, but it's just something where it was just an opportunity. It's Dave and myself versus the New York Wrecking Crew, another House of Glory tag team. Surprise. And we're wrestling in at NYWC, doing a show outside on the dock, and it's like a street fight. And we're going in there, and it's like we kind of told them like ahead of time. It's like, all right, everything's gonna hurt. See you out there. All right, we get out there and we start slinging things like crutches and all that, and you just almost go, holy. You got to get closer. You start talking like, come on, brother. It's like, dude, that hurt. Yeah, I know. we just beat the living hell out of each other. And it's like, you get to the back, it's like, brother, I didn't know he's going to hit me that hard. And it's like, look, if it's a street fight, you got fans that close, I'm going to knock the living hell out of you. And you need to knock the living hell out of me, or else I'm going to hit you even harder.
Right.
Well, shouldn't have said that, because the very next month, we're going at it again. And we just had to beat the living hell out of each other once. And it kind of went that way for probably about another freaking 4 or 5 months of that. But it was fun though. So, it's like, I can't say it's the worst. It's just, oh man, if I'd have known what I was saying was going to hurt me for the next one, the words a bit better, but it is what it is. Dave, you got any least favorites, or that just
nothing that speaks to me right now?
Yeah, it's like it's hard to pick a least favorite, like,
I mean, my least favorite match, that I can think of off the top of my head, only because it was so short, would be us versus Blackout at Cage of Death that year.
Yeah.
That would probably be my least favorite, just because it just didn't last as long as it should have.
Yeah. We didn't get it. It is what it is. Didn't get everything we wanted out of it, but
kind of rushed out. All right, get in, get out.
Yeah.
Sort of deal. So we didn't get exactly what we wanted, but
I get what you're saying.
It's wrestling. You don't always get what you want.
That's definitely the truth.
Have to be on the show and get paid at, so good stuff.
I was gonna say, if I got everything I wanted out of wrestling, I'd be rich. But going forward, 2020 is almost over. Can the fans expect to see anything big from you guys in 2021? Is there anywhere that you're trying to get your foot in the door already and just waiting on a response? Are we looking for a big comeback for other promotions that you've worked before?
We can't speak on everything, obviously, because we don't want to say, hey, we're going to be here, and with the way the world is right now,
right,
yada yada yada. But definitely got plans for 2021. Lord willing, if we got vaccines and all that stuff, we find a way to make things safer and everything like that. Definitely got plans for the rep to be a lot more places. Obviously we started working with Beyond this year. We're hoping to continue that work more, that next year, more companies with IWTV if we can. And obviously, if an opportunity is out there for more widespread exposure, whether it's in AEW, whether it's in ROH, whether it's an Impact, any other companies out there, pro wrestling from Hollywood, AEW.
Yeah.
It's like we have plans. We just can't, we plan on 2020. 2021, we definitely looking for it to be better than 2020, because this year has sucked globally for everybody. So
yeah. I can sympathize with that. No, you said Impact. I'd love to see you guys work a team like the North, or someone like that. I feel like
that would definitely be fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the technical side of them versus y'all just hitting real hard. I would love to see that back and forth. Like you said, I'd love to see you guys get in Ring of Honor and get a match with the Briscoes. There might not be any survivors, but
it'd be fun though.
The fans would be entertained.
I would hope so, man. It'd be fun. I mean, look, I'd be entertained. Oh, dude, I just thought about a story. Crap.
Okay,
Dave,
go for it.
Remember the time that we lost like 2 companies' tag belts in Canada?
No.
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 Oh, yes, no. Of course. I'm sorry. Don't talk about such things.
We left them in a city away, so we wrestled Tabernacle the team, and thank God he was there.
Tyson
Dukes' students in that town drove halfway. His other student, who was where we were, drove the other half of the way, picked up the belts. So by the time we got done the match, they had got them returned to us.
It's like, what is it? We left we're doing like a couple of cities in Canada. We left the belts in London while we were in Toronto. And it was just like, oh, this is not good at all.
Oh, this is bad. This is real bad.
This is very bad. We were at the point where we were like, as soon as our match is done, I guess we got a nice little 2-hour drive ahead of us.
Oh my goodness.
To go find these things, but wrestlers coming through.
Thank goodness.
Thank God for Tyson Dukes.
Yes. That man saved our skins.
So you guys have wrestled in Canada, and of course, Philly, New York, Tri-State. Where's some other places that you guys have gone as far as countries or states that would surprise people, or maybe isn't quite in the same rotation as everywhere else?
Probably we'll have to go with wrestling in England. That was a very,
England.
very dope experience.
Nice.
Yeah, I got stitches.
Oh, no. Do I want to know what happened there?
Universal healthcare is the shit, and we need it. It is the shit. I mean, granted, painful experience to go through, but man, they fixed me up pretty quick. So it was a great thing. Long as it happened in the ring, got kneed in the face. My bottom teeth went through my lip.
Ooh.
And if you look kind of closely, see a little bump right there. That's still some of the scar tissue I have left over.
Oh.
So that was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, best part, we made a good amount of money selling merchandise, and then spent most of it in traveling fare to and from the hospital.
So is there any particular country you guys would love to wrestle in? Because I know, as far as I'm concerned, I would love to, even if it's just for one match, I would love to wrestle in Japan. Like, is there anywhere off the top of your head that you would love somewhere like that?
Yeah, like that'd be freaking dope. Like, Japan's always dope. And I'd love to go back to England. Germany is like, and Australia is like, they're jumping like with wrestling down there. So it's like, that'd be freaking dope.
That's right. I didn't know Australia had a big wrestling scene. So that would be very awesome to see.
I want to go to whoever's paying.
Yeah, I like that.
Those are the best people to work for.
Damn straight. I was jokingly telling my brother about our other podcast, and I was like, my character on that podcast and in real life, if they're like, hey, we want you to do this for this much, I'm in.
That's how a lot of our bookings get done.
I legit had a show once. It was a Saturday afternoon in some dude's backyard for a birthday party, and a friend of mine called me Friday night, and he goes, hey, do you want to work a birthday party? And I was like, for $50? Hell yeah. I worked a 5-minute match in front of 15 people and got paid almost more than my usual booking fee. So I'm like, yes, especially at the time, because I was green as goose shit. I was probably only 2 years in. So that was a huge payday for me. But no, I can appreciate, getting paid for doing what you do.
Yeah, the best bookings are the ones you get paid and you don't have to go more than 50 miles from home. Those are the best. That's like, oh man, I get to go home tonight. This is wonderful.
I've made a couple trips like that where I'm like, I don't want to drive, but we got to get back.
I mean, a lot of times we end up like, we work in New York a lot. Like, we're trying to start working, beyond, Rhode Island, a lot of those Northeast states and everything like that, we got no problem going down south, like I said, we've already been to Tennessee, like, like the money's out there, like, been to Ohio. but it's nothing like just working not far from home. Like even just once in a while, like, let's say you got 3 months making long trips. It's nothing like, oh, wait a minute, I got to wrestle. It's only an hour away. Sweet.
There's a company I work. Oh, I mentioned them at the beginning. UWC. I literally used to live 5 minutes from the venue that they always run in,
Yes.
and I literally drove past it every day on my way to work. And I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
Can't beat easy.
Oh yeah. But well, I'll start wrapping this up. Do you guys have anything you would like to say to fans, any teams that are out there that you want to, get the attention of?
Don't forget about us. We'll catch y'all in 2021.
Yeah, most definitely. We ain't dead yet. We just working out.
Well,
I think we put over a lot of our favorite teams, a lot of the teams that we want to work with. And, some of them, they already know this because we, hop in DMs, we talk, how it goes. But yeah, I think they hit it on the head. The rep ain't dead, the rep ain't over. 2021, we definitely have plans on coming back. We just wanted to be safe this year, be safe.
Oh, yeah.
Got people to take care of at home, but we ain't stopping.
That's awesome. So before we go, do you guys, as I guess we could say veterans of wrestling, have any advice for young up and coming talent trying to break into the business, or tag teams trying to get noticed?
Don't stop. Just do it. If you
Yeah.
really feel that strongly about something, if it really bothers you, go handle it.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, go. If you're not getting what you need where you're at, go find it. This wrestling journey is your own journey. And no one can tell you, this is the only way to do it. Wrestling's full of people who, went the other way, swim upstream. But you got to be willing to put in the work.
Respect that. Well, I greatly appreciate you guys coming on the show. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, talking tag wrestling, talking some fun road stories. Where can the nice people on the internet find you guys? Twitter, Instagram.
I can be found at Nate Carter on Facebook and at the Rep Nate Carter on Instagram and Twitter.
Same thing, David McCall on Facebook, and then on Twitter and Instagram, the Rep DMC.
Nice. All right.
Very easy to find.
Again, thank you guys so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. You guys, not trying to blow smoke or anything, are definitely one of my favorite teams on the scene right now. And
Thank you.
now that my knee is, back to normal, I'd love to get a chance to get in the ring with the two of you.
Okay, put you right back in that wheelchair. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Keep that seat warm.
No, it would be a blast for you guys. I'm not afraid of a good hard hitting match, so it'd be awesome. I'm glad that the Rep's still trying to get out there and trying to get noticed, because like we said, I hadn't heard from you guys much, but I'm very glad that you guys came on. I'm very glad that I had the chance to sit down with you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thanks for listening in. Once again, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an upload, and tap the little bell so you get a notification. You can find these nice gentlemen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm going to put links in the description below. And also, don't forget that donation link at the bottom for UWC's Toys for Tots drive. It's a really great cause, and every little bit helps, so please donate. Thank you, Nate Carter and Dave McCall, for joining me, the Rep.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next time.